So really well done on that.
Wasn't that big an effort, was it?
I just want to, as Conor mentioned, our dad unfortunately couldn't be here today, so I just want to say a couple of words on his behalf. He asked me just to say a few words, and he wanted to officially welcome Sarah into the Griffin family. So welcome into our family officially. And to say how happy he is for both Conor and Sarah on behalf of himself and my mother, how truly happy they are that such beautiful, kind, caring people have decided to marry and start a wonderful life together with Cara. So I want to say that my dad is truly proud of Conor and has told me to express his pride here today, and to say that Conor, you're a wonderful son, really caring, really kind, and sincerely generous. You're one of the most generous guys around, and my dad just wanted to offer a toast on behalf of Conor and Sarah, to Conor and Sarah.
Conor and Sarah.
So that leads me on to a story that my mother and father often tell about Conor as a boisterous 3-year-old. They were going on a family trip back when Conor was about 3, and they stopped off in a supermarket to get some supplies for the trip. So in they went, and Conor, having developed a taste for the finer things in life as a 3-year-old, spotted a bumper pack of Mars bars and said, "They're for me." So my mother said, "Unfortunately, Conor, no, you're not having any sweets today," and this didn't go too well with Conor at all. So Conor, he lay on the ground of the supermarket and screamed at the top of his voice until he went purple in the face. So my mother, she conceded defeat and bought the Mars bars for Conor. So sometime later, in the car on continuing the trip, Mum turned around. There was Conor with a big happy smiley face, looking at his Mars bars, and Mum took the Mars bars off Conor and fired them out the window of the moving car. Those were in the days before litter pollution.
Woo!
So apparently Conor was so shocked and so overwhelmed by what had just happened that he couldn't even speak. There was just absolutely nothing out of him. And my mother says that was the last time Conor ever demanded any sweets in the shop. So Sarah, the moral of the story is, when you're in Sainsbury's with Conor, always buying his Mars bars, and you'll have a happy life together.
Explains everything.
So yeah, it was a beautiful ceremony here today in gorgeous surroundings in Old Manor here, and I want to say how special it was. And Nick, really well done, Nick.
Well done, Nick. Woo!
I think, Nick, you've really missed your vocation. Yeah. In fact,
someone else said so. Surprisingly.
In fact, a couple of people have asked me if you'd hear their confession later on. and actually, looking at some of Conor's friends at table 11, I think you could be in for a long night of it.
Book some time.
So I want to talk about Conor, my older brother. There's 6 years 6 years between myself and Conor, and my very first memories are always of Conor looking after me. There was, as Conor said, 6 boys together in the house, so it was pretty busy. So Conor was always tasked with looking after me, and always did so as as kindly and caringly as possible. There was never a complaint. It never felt like he was he was tasked with a job with a young kid hanging around. He always made me feel like one of the guys with all of his friends. Took care of me, right throughout my life, and for that I'm truly grateful, Conor. You're a really great older brother. And that continued everything. My first job was through Conor in London as a summer job when I was in college. He got me a job in Lombard when he was working there at the time, and that's a whole different story. There's some of those guys here today from back at that time.
Go Lombard!
But we won't tell many stories about that time. But just as an example of how caring Conor is, I want to talk about Conor got a job in Switzerland a number of years ago. And he was working for a pharmaceutical company out there, and I went over to visit him for a weekend, and we went hiking with Conor's friends up the Schildhorn mountain, which was about 7,000 feet. It took 7 hours to hike up. No one told me I've got a severe fear of heights. No one told me, how high we were actually going to be trekking. So anyway, we got 7 hours up. There was planes below us. We were up that high. It really was. And we got to a bridge. There was a little bridge that we needed to cross in order to get the cable car back down. So it was just a little rope, and as I got to it, I completely froze. I couldn't move. I just went into complete shock, and this was a big problem because it was getting dark. We were up a mountain. There was no way down. I just sat there.
Can I just say, one of the options was knock him out. Seriously, it was we'll knock him out and just carry him over. And that was a real option.
But thanks, Conor, for actually stealing my punchline.
Whoa! Whoa!
So anyway, let's move on to the next story. But anyway, apparently, I could see the look of pure worry on Conor's face, and he was really concerned. What are we actually going to do here? And apparently they all huddled together, and one of Conor's friends said, we're going to have to knock him out and carry him across the bridge. So, but anyway, Conor found a way. He talked me in. Yeah. It was like BA out of the A team. But he was so calmed me down and carried me up a safe route up the mountain so we could get a cable car back down. But it was just an example of how caring Conor is. So thank you for that, Conor.
Woo!
So, as Conor said, growing up, 6 lads together, it was an eventful household. We used to have mess fights in the fields at the back of our house, when Conor's weapon of choice was often a pitchfork. So Conor was destined to be a farmer, but it didn't quite work out. But Conor's famous for his generosity, and everyone here that knows Conor knows how generous he is, and he truly is. One of the most generous people you'll ever find in every way. As the saying goes, he'd give you a bit of bread out of his mouth. He really would. Conor would just give you, his last pound. So, I just want to acknowledge Conor's generosity to me over the years and taking care of me, and putting me up in his house when I needed to, when I moved to London to spend some time over there, and completely took care of me. So I'm truly grateful, and you're a great older brother and friend. Thank you.
Woo!
I know we were all in our house really, really delighted when Conor and Sarah announced they were getting married. They're two beautiful people that deserve each other, and they're going to build a fine life for each other. It's great to spend time in their company, and you all know what great people they are. Fun-loving people. Fun is the name of the game. When
That's on video.
There we go, that's on video. Okay. You're right, we use that as evidence. We'll be subpoenaed this.
well, pre-Cara, this was last Christmas. Connor and Sarah spent a night with myself and my wife Karen in Dublin, and we were asking, can you recommend somewhere to go for a few days, somewhere nice to go on a weekend break around Europe? And they were thinking about it, and they'd counted up the number of places they'd visited that year, and they had been in 12 countries.
Woo!
So it's truly amazing. But it just goes to show what fun-loving people they really are. And it's going to continue with Cara. She's a lucky girl. She's going to have a really great and exciting life. She's already been to her first festival at 5 months old. Apparently she had little baby earphones on. So we were truly delighted when they decided to get married, and we're really happy and delighted for them both. So I don't think my job would be complete without talking about Connor's time as a nightclub manager in Cavan. So Connor, having spent some time in London, returned home to Cavan to work for some time. He was in his late teens. So himself and our older brother Jim decided to set up a nightclub in a little rural village in Cavan, and they called it the Twilight Zone. Now, the little village that they set up this nightclub in had a population of about 10. And this was a techno nightclub in the late 90s. And this nightclub would have been probably even too early for London. The mind Lavy. But they had, they had everything. They had like the smoke machines, the strobe lights, DJs, it was all set up, but unfortunately just not the people. They ran a free bus from our local town Cavan to bring the masses out to their nightclub, but when really a small taxi probably would have done. I wasn't there on the opening night, but apparently there was 4 farmers at the bar just looking bemused, smiling, just going, what the hell's going on? But anyway, it just shows what Connor tried to bring a bit of life to the place, and then decided it wasn't for him, so moved back to London. So yeah, I want to finish up there, and thank you all again for being patient with me. And I hope we'll have a really good evening of food and festivities and dancing. Not many people know this, but Connor was actually a finalist in the 2012 Val d'Isère dance-off competition.
Woo!
That's a true story. And so for any professional dancers that are feeling brave here tonight.
Woo!
So
Game on.
I want to thank you all again, and finish up and have a great evening.
Thank you,
very
Karl.
much.
Woo!